Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm really excited to be here with you all today. My name is April. I go by Ruby Rouge here on the YouTubes. For those of you who are new, please remember to like and subscribe if you do in fact like my content and wouldn't mind seeing me again. The topic of the day is Pan Those Eyeshadows Project Pan. This is my finale for 2021 and my intro for 2022. I managed to make 7 updates last year. The original goal was 12, but I did get at least halfway there. So I would like to start with a quick recap of 2021 and then start 2022 off right. So I started 2021 by randomly generating 5 palettes from each of the years. We had 2016, one from 2017, 2018, 2019, and then anything newer than that was a whole category, but I was planning on using the randomly generated shadows 20 times. I did that for about the first half of the year, and then I realized that 20 times was actually not enough for me to ever hit pan on anything, so I upped it to 30. I also gave myself the option to declutter anything that I did not want to own or use anymore at any time during the process of using the shadows. So I had 14 shadows total through the project. I had 4 that hit pan, and those were ABH Blushing, Smashbox Wheat, Natasha Denona Pinija, and Lorac Light Brown. I had 3 that I ended up decluttering. That was MAC Shock Factor Lime, MAC Aqua, Charlotte Tilbury Smoke, and then I had 3 that hit goal. Those were, and that was 20 to 30 uses depending on when it was in the project. And that was Juvias Place Custard, Butter London Goddess Queen, Ofra Signature Luxe Rodeo Drive. I have 4 eyeshadows still in the project, and I'm about to talk about those in just a bit. So as of last update, Lorac Light Brown was still in the project, but now I have hit goal, pan to be exact. Can we see the pan here? So I added 1 more pan since the last update, and that brought me to the total of 4 that I mentioned earlier. My thoughts on this project are that it's a really fun way to get some use out of shadows that I may or may not gravitate towards picking out on my own. I don't put a ton of pressure on myself to get through this project as quickly as possible. I do try to have 1 shadow roll out per update, which I would like to be every month, but you know, that's all. I try to limit the amount of pressure I put on myself when I do projects. I do try to use the whole palette when I roll in a shade from a palette. That does seem to be a common gripe from people who participate in this project, that they're only using the 1 shade. But for me, I did try to use like the palette a few times. Like I enjoyed, the palette was out, I enjoyed reaching for other shades while it was sitting out on my dresser. 30 uses is a lot to reach for one shade, so I do try to figure out like a whole bunch of different ways to use it, including in its own palette, certainly pairing it with my current Pan That palette. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out, so I'm going to continue exactly as it is for right now. I'm not going to make any changes, and I'm even going to keep the shadows that I had in from last update, with the exception of Lorac Light Brown, because I did hit pan and it rolled out. So that leaves me with Juvias Place Tart. I have a combo that I'm doing with this one right now. I'm really enjoying it, so I've been flying through it. That's the best when that happens. I love it. I've paired it with a couple of other shadows that I want to hit pan on, and I'm up to 24 uses. I had at least 14 in the last update. So I look to have this one finished by next month. I don't see hitting pan on this one in my future for next month, though. These squishy kind of finger, I use this one with my finger and press it on. They just don't, you know, for me those are really hard to hit pan on. So it'll probably be a while, but I am getting some use out of it, and that's cool. The next shadow I have is Tati Beauty Palette, Memory. I really like this shade. It's an incredible black. This mirror is out of control. So this shade here, it's incredible black, and I actually just chose this palette to be my Pan That palette for 2022, so I'll be doubling up on the usage for at least a month or so, and that's nice. But I did leave it off with the last update with 2 uses. Now I have a total of 7 to start the year. Not bad. I actually look to roll this out in a month or 2 because it's part of that look. It's like a little trio of looks that are kind of all similar but slightly different. actually this is part of it, but I do have Tati Memory on today. Just a little bit of it, but I have it on today. Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. The shade is in Bliss. This is a great choice for summer, and I actually had rolled it in during the summer and then I completely forgot to use it. I had 4 uses at the last update. I did use it 2 more times since then, and now I have 6. So we're going to see how this goes. At this rate, it's going to be in for a few years. I like the palette. I mean, I like the shade. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not quite what I'm going for right at this moment. Last update, I rolled in Joie de Glitz, which would have been a great Christmas color. But yeah, I kind of overlooked it. Completely forgot about it. I didn't completely forgot about it, but I'm trying to figure out how to hold this without sticking my finger in everything. It's this one up here. But guys, I'll get in the rhythm again eventually. It happens sometimes that you just kind of get distracted and other things are going on. I did use it 3 times. I now have a total of 3 uses on this. I did find, even though it looks kind of, in the pan, I feel like it looks like super gold and glittery. It is more versatile than I originally thought, so that's good. I figure I can use that throughout the whole year, really. Yeah. And then that leaves me needing to replace Lorac Light Brown. And here's what's up. I know I said I was going to leave everything exactly the same, but we're going to make one little exception right here. I was going to randomly generate in a shadow, but the Lorac palette is a 2016 palette for me, and I have this other 2016 palette that has this one shadow in it that needs pan to complete my goal of hitting pan in every shade. And that is, you may have guessed it, this Viseart Cool Mattes 07, my Pan Matte palette for 2019-2020. It's still going. It's still going. I have this one shade here that does not have pan. It also pairs perfectly with some of the other shadows that I'm trying to use right now. It's part of this look that I was talking about. So I'm going to bring this shadow in instead of randomly number generating a shadow. Hopefully that way I can achieve my goal of pan in every shade in this palette. Fingers crossed. Really hopeful. I think we're going to get there. I'm looking good. I'm seeing dippage. Alright guys, so here's my palette all swatched out. Alright, that's my update. Thank you all for stopping by, and I really enjoyed filling you in on this project. Thank you guys for staying along with my journey, and here's to next year. I'm so excited every month to show you, or every update to show you my new palette. So please feel free to stop by and say hi in the comments, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!